Leaving work completely is not the only choice for retirement. Many people are choosing to semi-retire and continue working to some degree. But who would want to work at all when you could have unlimited free time? Transitioning into retirement can be an abrupt change for those who are used to working a full-time job and to enjoy the monetary and non-monetary benefits working provides. For many, being semi-retired is actually preferred for reasons that aren't totally financial. The idea of continuing to work into retirement can seem like a nightmare, but it doesn't have to be like that at all. Take a look at what it would mean for you to be semi-retired and what you can expect from this type of lifestyle to see if it's something to consider. Burnout is common when you're stuck working a boring, unfulfilling job. Perhaps your boss is unappreciative and doesn't respect your efforts, you're not being paid what you're worth, or your position doesn't provide any real satisfaction. Most people enjoy contributing to society in some way, and that's often through their work. Working makes people feel useful, and it can provide a reason to get up in the morning, instead of laying in bed with no motivation to get up and get on with their day. Working too much can be a drag too. Semi-retirement is a great in-between option because it allows you to contribute and see the positive impact of your efforts while also having more time to do other things that you enjoy. Working a job that you don't like is never fun, and it's even worse as you need a retirement when you're supposed to be enjoying your accomplishments. You don't necessarily need to keep the same job if you're unhappy with it. The great thing about semi-retirement is that your income needs are going to be less demanding than they were before, so earning as much money as possible isn't necessary. Finding a new line of work with more emphasis on enjoyment instead of money is ideal for this. A huge part of social life is tied to work, provided you don't work from home. For older people who don't work anymore and whose kids are grown, maintaining relationships is much more difficult. Opportunities to meet new people and maintain current relationships are few for those that aren't willing to set forth the effort required. Even if you weren't exactly best friends with your coworkers, the camaraderie of the workplace and the shared goals you had with those people is irreplaceable. Once you retire, these circumstances are likely going to be few and far between. Sure, there are ways to replicate this socialization to some degree, but it probably won't be the same. Working is one way to ensure you remain active. Of course, there are retirees who are able to fill their day with activities, but there are also many who find themselves with the challenge of trying to stay busy. Days can be long and hard to fill. Many retirees find that they're spending a large amount of their day watching TV, lounging around the house, and just not being that productive. When you're at least working part-time, it's much easier to stay busy in your time off. Free time is slightly more scarce, so you're more likely to fully utilize it for errands, chores, spending time with friends and family, and other forms of enjoyment. When you have unlimited time, it's easy to procrastinate and put things off because there's plenty of time. Why grab lunch with a friend today when you have all week and then the week after that? Many studies show that people who keep active and engaged are less likely to experience loss of memory and other physical mental age-related declines. Giving back is something many people would love to do, and simply retirement could provide them the ability to do so on a larger scale. Earning money through part-time work will allow you to donate to a cause of your choice if you weren't able to before. Or even if you were able, you could increase your generosity with the extra funds. It doesn't have to be monetary either. Volunteering or working for a small business that needs employees to help them grow is another option. Many mom and pop businesses would be happy to have extra help, and the experience you could provide could be invaluable. Feeling overwhelmed and behind are two common emotions people have when they realize how long they have to work in order to reach their retirement goals and become financially free. This is usually because people underestimate how long it takes to prepare for a bright financial future. For those of us who don't want to wait 20 or 30 years to fully retire, semi-retirement is an excellent option. Semi-retirement is great for people who only need to earn enough money to pay their bills without touching their nest egg. By not touching their investments, they can let them grow for a little while longer, at which point it will be enough for a full retirement. By investing in the S&P 500, your investments will double about every 7 years. Let's say you need about $2 million to retire, but you currently only have about $1 million. You'd love to start enjoying some of the benefits of retirement without having to keep working full-time. By semi-retiring right away, perhaps you could pay your bills without touching your investments. Let's say you have just enough money that would allow you to retire on $40,000 in annual income, but you wouldn't be able to spend any extra money. If you had the opportunity to take a vacation, you'd have to skip it due to the expense. Or perhaps you want to buy an expensive gift to reward a friend or family member. This isn't an option since you have no extra room in your budget. By working just enough to pay your bills, you could let your investments grow for 3 to 4 more years. Consequently, your funds will have grown significantly, assuming an average annual return. By investing in the S&P 500, this means you'd have about 50% more money after that amount of time. Instead of having to live carefully on $40,000 per year, now you can live on about $60,000. At that point, you could decide to retire fully and enjoy the extra room you have in your budget. Keeping a foot in the employment door provides what many of us want: flexibility. Many of us have things we want to accomplish with our retirement. For example, you want to do some traveling, and waiting too long could mean becoming too old to do so. Or you want to spend more time with your family while they're still young, but once they become busy with their own lives, you have extra time in your hands. When you don't cut ties of the workforce completely, it's much easier to get back into the swing of things. You may not become obsolete by leaving the job, but it becomes emotionally harder to get back to work once you're fully retired and completely adjusted to that new lifestyle. One more year syndrome is something that will eat up time that you could be enjoying. Those who are financially prepared to retire often find themselves saying, just one more year, due to some type of fear of retirement. They might fear they won't have enough money and they'll end up broke. What happens if the financial markets crash or if the cost of everything skyrockets? They might be afraid of the transition to retirement and what their day will look like. Will they be bored? Will they feel as if they have no purpose? These are valid concerns, but are not reasons to continue working one year after another. Working part-time could help avoid this situation where you feel the need to delay retirement out of fear, as it provides a smoother transition. Semi-retirement isn't for everyone, especially those who hate working and only look forward to the day they can retire so they can begin enjoying life, or so they think. The truth is, there are some remarkable benefits to semi-retirement. Working part-time and having more free time than a full-time worker can allow you to enjoy the best of both worlds. Mental and physical health benefits, flexibility, and the ability to semi-retire early are just some of the advantages. Add those to the fact that you could potentially achieve your desired lifestyle at a younger age, and you have a plan to seriously consider.